Hi guys, my name is Merel and I've had the privilege of being the External Relations Officer in the IVSA Global Executive Committee for these last few months. If I had to describe what exactly the ERO does in one sentence, it would be to maintain current sponsorships and partnerships and to always be on the lookout for new ones. So what are sponsors and partners? Partners are organizations that IVSA benefits from through a mutual sharing of knowledge, support and experiences. Some examples are Vet Books for Africa, Wild Welfare and of course the OIE. And then there's the president that handles the bigger partner organizations such as WSAVA, WVA, FACAVA and FVE. Through being ERO, I've also gotten to know quite a bit more about these organizations, albeit on a lower level than the president has. Then there are sponsors. These are companies that basically just give us money in return for promotion. So we put their advertisements in our EO bulletin, in our IVSA journal, on our Facebook page, and we give them speaking slots at our events, things like that. I've been in contact with quite a lot of different companies in the veterinary business world, such as pet food companies, scientific departments, pharmaceutical companies, and corporate clinics. Let's see, so what have I had to do to maintain our partners and sponsors and to gain new ones? Basically, it's been sending lots and lots of emails and having meetings with these potential sponsors. So it's been my job to convince people that collaborating with IVSA can provide mutual benefits and to then personalize those benefits to the specific needs and interests of that specific company. So once an agreement has been set in place, I need to draft an agreement, which is called a memorandum of understanding. So that's basically a contract, and the MOU outlines the different responsibilities of both parties in order to avoid miscommunications. So that's kind of a detailed description of what I've been doing. What I've learned in these last few months is actually quite a lot. I've definitely gotten to know a lot more about all of the different career paths that veterinary medicine has to offer, as well as what IVSA itself has to offer. And furthermore, I've gotten a lot more confident in my communication with partners and sponsors. And I've also learned a lot more about IVSA's role within the veterinary community and the impact that we have as students. Furthermore, I think it's really important that you realize that being ERO is also being EXCO, so that means that you're part of a team. For me, that has been absolutely great. I've learned so much from each and every one of my fellow EXCO members, but also from my secretaries. They've all been such a great support in tough times, and they've also been there to applaud me when I managed to get another sponsor, for example. So yeah, that's been really great, and I've definitely made so many friends. Let's see, there are two things that I would really like to say before you decide to run for ERO, which is that you do need to have quite a bit of a good mastery of the English language, so you need to be fairly fluent. Basically, the most important thing is that you don't make consecutive grammatical errors, especially in communicating with sponsors and partners, because that might seem a bit unprofessional, and also in the memorandums of understanding, because those also have some legal terms thrown around, which you do get used to after a while, but still it's important that you do know your English grammar. And furthermore, I would also not recommend this position to someone who is in clinical rotations every single day, because all meetings I've had were between the hours of 9 to 5 from Mondays to Fridays. So if you are in clinical rotations, you really won't be able to adjust your schedule to that of the sponsors and partners. Please don't let this scare you. But yeah, because it's been just such an amazing journey, really. If I could do it all over again, I definitely would. So if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be really glad to just help you out and give you some more details. And then I would just like to kind of close off with a last message as the future president of IVSA. So I really, really look forward to next year's term, and therefore I would just like to encourage every single one of you that has ambitions in IVSA Global to really go for it. I just want to make sure that I leave IVSA in a better state, in an even better state than how I found it. And if that is something that you would like to contribute to, make sure that you run. Please don't be scared to run. It's a lot of fun being an IVSA. It's definitely a wild and unpredictable roller coaster, but a fun one nevertheless. So good luck with your speeches and lots of love from Belgium.